Welcome back to the channel, and this week we are going to focus on a new market update with a particular focus on ADRIA. But first up, what is happening out there in the leisure world industry? There are some positive signs and there's some interesting news on the latest situation with dealers. We're aware now that another dealership has closed its doors up in Teesside, so Teesside Caravans have decided to call time on their sales. And there's been a big change over at Leisure World. Now, Leisure World used to be based out of Catterick, York and Tyneside, and they've taken the decision to consolidate down into their Catterick branch. So now they're using that as their super centre, as a one-stop shop, if you like, for their leisure vehicle sales. So whilst we've not lost a dealer as such, there has been a little bit of consolidation. Now, in a positive way, it's great to see that the former White Archers site down here in Northamptonshire has finally officially become a Spinney site. It's gone through its final transition online and with its website, and on the forecourt, both the motorhomes and caravans are very much Spinney. We're just waiting now for the final new signage and updates to the sites themselves to get that branding in place. But I think given what happened with MBH back earlier in the year, the fact that we have been able to retain a local dealer here in Northamptonshire has been fantastic. Now, Spinney are up and running across several sites now. They also bought out one of the Broadline sites, if you remember, just before they went into administration as a company. So Spinney has got itself quite a bit of presence across the Midlands and north of the UK. And in effect, they're now providing a broad dealer network for a range of manufacturers in both the caravan and the motorhome market. So a few moves and shakes there across the industry, but positive sign, looks like things could be calming down somewhat as we head into 2025. Well, here we are in mid-October, and it is time for the Motorhome and Caravan show at the NEC. Now, with that in mind, there is the backdrop of what is still quite a challenging financial market out there in any realm, not just in the motorhome and caravan world, but with interest rates still not settling down to where they once were. There are positive signs again here, particularly with inflation dropping in the last few days. So there might be some hope on the horizon. And that, of course, is important for anybody who's looking to finance their motorhome or caravan, particularly with the finance rates that have been on offer on the last few months. So let's see what that brings for us. And that brings us back round to the Motorhome and Caravan show at the NEC. Well, we did get to have a little wander over. We had an opportunity to speak to Swift by invitation to discuss our experience of owning a motorhome and some of the feedback we've got on some of the vehicles. I'll update you more when I know more about that and where that may lead. And we did have a little wander around, a little look, but obviously it's very busy, and trying to film full in-depth reviews at the NEC in the vast crowds is not easy when everyone's diving in and out of the vehicles. But we certainly took some time to have a look at what was on offer, some of the new models, and I had a very productive conversation with Coachmen. Heard one or two whispers about whether they would be continuing with the motorhome sector and their Travel Master range. Now, I've had the absolute guarantee that that is the case, and I think there's a little bit of misunderstanding out there in that it is the revision and the updates to the Travel Master that are likely to come at some point in the future. We're still with the current models and the Sportivo line that they launched last year. And we are waiting more details, if you like, on what the new Coachman Travel Master motorhomes will be. But I am assured that there are some updated, refreshed versions due to come very soon. I wonder if that will be February. On that note, though, I can see why they're perhaps not shouting for a new model at the moment, because there are a good 20, 21 Travel Masters for sale across the UK on dealer forecourts. So I would imagine that they are trying to sell them through. And just a heads up there, if that is one that interests you, some of those are now down to 110,000 from what was a peak earlier in the year of a selling price of 132. So there are some deals to be had on those current 2024 Travel Masters, if that's for you. So back to the focus for today. So I wanted to take a little market update look at what is happening with ADRIA. Now, across their Supersonic, which is their A-class motorhome, their luxury tag axle, their Sonic, which is their A-class standard axle, and their Fiat Ducato based Matrix and Coral and Compacts. What is happening with those? Now, when you look across the sector and all the dealers across the UK, there's quite a stock of what is both 2023 and 2024 models available. And there are a variety of deals available right now as the dealers and ADRIA themselves are keen to sell through that stock, as we have seen the new models launch at the NEC. Now, these new models, which I'll show you now as I'm talking, are the updated Fiat cab in the main. There is no radical change to the interior fixtures and fittings, just some mild updates really. But the bulk of it is in that new Fiat cab, which is obviously up-spec'd and uprated in some of the features that it does offer. But what it is leaving is a vast selection of the 23 and 24 models on the dealer forecourts. So let's take a little walk through and see what could you get if you were happy to have the current Fiat Ducato cab against the new one. So first up, let's get some numbers on what is available out there, and you'll see why there are some keen deals and some keen pricing on some models to be had. Right now, and this is what, the 17th of October, there are 147 2023-2024 new stock, if you like, ADRIA motorhomes across the Coral Matrix, Compact, Supreme, Supersonic, Sonic ranges. 147 unregistered vehicles. Now, in the Coral range, there are 29. In the Matrix, there are 55. There are 34 Supersonics, and there are at least 19 Sonics available. Now, this is not counting in some of the big dealers like Brownhills, who've got an extensive stock sitting on their forecourts as well on top of this, that don't feature in these Auto Trader numbers. And from memory, there was a good, I'd say, 20 motorhomes for sale there at Brownhills as well. And this covers a range of island bed, longitudinal beds, the salon, the dinette, in whatever combination you want. You can pretty much find the motorhome layout that would suit you. So let's dive down into the deals that I've had a little look at across some of the dealers right now. So first up, let's take a look at TMD Motorhomes. Now, they're based in the West Midlands. I think they're south of Birmingham, and they've got a range of ADRIAs for sale at the moment. And there is a mix of dealer offers and ADRIA contributions to be had. For example, they've got a ADRIA Supersonic with £6,000 off right now. They've got a Matrix Supreme DC. So that's the dinette with the island bed. There's £5,000 off that. As an unregistered model. They've got £10,000 off an ADRIA Matrix DT, which is the shorter model. It's a drop-down bed but does have a large lounge, and that's coming in now at just under £80,000. They've got another Supersonic with £8,000 off, so the big twin axle tag setup. Again, another great deal. It's also got a ADRIA Lux pack added on to that as well right now. And they've even got some deals on the ADRIA twins, such as this 600 SPB here. that again has got £5,000 off, including the ADRIA offer itself. And even down to their little dinky Renault-based camper, the little Active Duo. They've got those with almost £3,500 off, coming in at just under £60,000. But look out in a moment, because I'll show you some other good deals that can be had on the ADRIA Active elsewhere. I say that because if you flip over to Brownhills, straight up here, you could save even more money. They're knocking out the Renault-based ADRIA Active Duo here for just under £50,000, so almost £10,000 less than TMD are offering right now. So it really does pay to have a good shop around once again and do that research. And they have a slightly different one on an automatic at £53,000. So worth a visit to Brownhills if you really are looking for one of those right now, thinking about what the original price point was for some of those duos. They have a number of ADRIA twins for sale, various discounts from £4,000 to almost £7,000 off in manuals, automatics, across the whole range really. And here in these examples, you've got from Brownhills the Matrix Supreme here, the DC, which is the island bed on the automatic. Yes, this is on this end of the last Fiat cab if you like, but they've got one in here, look at 97,000. That's saving almost £5,000 from what its original spec price was. They've also got the SL, which is the longitudinal beds with the salon lounge arrangement at almost £98,000. Again, there's almost £4,000 off that. And they continue there at Brownhills. They've got quite a few, couple of the Supremes, the Matrix and the Coral in the DL, so the longitudinal beds with the lounge set up. So whether you prefer the Matrix with the drop down bed, or whether you prefer the Coral with the more spacious roof light and an openness at the front, you can take your pick there with those two, both at £98,000. And what else can we find from some of the other dealers? So let's keep taking a look through. So next then, let's go to the dealer that I've already talked about, Spinney, who are picking up a few dealer sites across the UK. They've got a good selection. I think they've got around 12 across their sites at the moment for sale. And all of these have got some good discounts. Like for example, this ADRIA Matrix Supreme SL, so the salon dining area with the longitudinal beds. There's almost £10,000 off that one at the moment, and they've even got some discounts on the Twin Sports too. You can also see here that the Twin Max on the MAN cab also got discount there of almost £9,000. They've got, for example, this one in the Northamptonshire branch, the ADRIA Matrix Supreme, the SC, so again that's the salon setup with the island bed. There's been a recent 2,000 reduction. That vehicle at one point was up at £102,000. So there's a good £7,000 off that from what it was originally listed at. But if you go over to one of the other bigger dealers, Pullinger's over in East Anglia, they've got quite a lot of the big boys in stock. So quite a few of the Supersonics, the Sonics, with various discounts. There's almost £10,000 off some of the Sonics and Supersonics. And if you look across the compacts, Matrix, again, there's discounts of up to £5,000–6,000 off some of these vehicles. You've got an example there, look, of the Matrix Supreme SL there, coming in with almost a £4,000 discount. So once again, it is worth having a good look around and really doing your research. And for want of a, I don't know, style of a new cab, for the amount of time you spend in the vehicle compared to your normal car that you might run, I think this is the conclusion we've come to. Would we want to pay an extra £10,000 just to get a new face on the front of the Fiat cab for the amount of miles that we drive, or would we be happy to buy one of these brand new vehicles with a big discount that is in effect brand new, just on the previous generation cab, I think they're worth a punt, and they're worth a shout to save some money at this point in time. Of course, as ever, the choice is yours. The views are yours. This is just my view, that clearly ADRIA and the dealer network is sitting on quite a lot of stock. But it's worth bearing in mind that even some of the new models that I saw at the NEC this week are also coming in with dealer-based discounts before the new 2025 season even starts. So for example, Brownhills are doing like a golden ticket, which is a dealer discount that is already knocking some money off the new models. So I think that will put further pressure down onto the pricing and the discounts that may come through in the next 2 or 3 months with some of this existing 23-24 model year stock that is out there. Once again, I hope this is useful. It's just showing you that as this market is settling down, certainly the NEC Motorhome show was busy. There were big crowds, the car parks are full. It's worth noting that people are interested. There were people buying. Is this a time where the market is starting to pick up and we might see a bit more buoyancy as we get into the 2025 season? Is yet to be seen. So thanks for tuning in once again. Your support for the channel is always welcome. And if you feel like you want to, give us a like, give us a subscribe. It's always very much welcome. We'll see you soon.